I guess let's start, Shubham.
Yeah. So hi, good evening, everyone. We all are here just to present you launch of AIF. Like recently we got our AIF license. So we thought let's connect with all of you and let you know how things are going to work out from future. Which is my screen visible?
Yeah. Thanks everyone as for joining. We have launched the AIF. That's everyone has got the news, and so we are here to discuss the basic things about the AIF, how this changes from what you guys have invested so far with us, what is going to change now. So there is a link which is there shared by Neha also into the chat, where you will find all the details about the fund, be it what kind of size it is, and the documents and everything is embedded over here. Shubham, can you please? Yeah. So the base of it. This is a Cat 1 angel fund. As per SEBI, there are three categories of funds: so Cat 1, 2, and 3. In the Cat 1 fund, we have registered ourselves, and this is an angel fund. The corpus is 250 crores, 250 crore green shoe. 250 crore is the targeted size. If we oversubscribe, we can definitely go up to 250 crore more. So it will be a total of 500 crores. So we are hoping that we do good in future years and take ourselves there. So life of the fund is like we will be deploying capital for 15 years, 1-5, and then we will be having 5 years for closure. Total life of the fund is 20 years. That's with us. So with this amount, I'm sure we're definitely going to achieve that amount. And the reason of keeping it very long was also because we want to use this as a vehicle for all our future investments. So every investor gets fund units. The management fee is the fund fee. We have kept very simple forms. I will also explain in the future slides also. But yeah, we have a 2% of commitment amount and 10% of carry. This will also vary deal to deal. Our fund has an ability to take a 20% carry, but we have kept a 10% carry. But in a deal to deal basis, we will also bring few deals which are very exclusive. So where it can go higher, even it can go lower. So minimum commitment per investor is 25 lakhs. And this commitment you have to cover in the period of 5 years. This is a question being asked by all the investors. I want to keep this session more of a Q&A session where whatever questions you have, you can definitely let us know. And we will try to answer that. So whenever someone joins this AIF, you have to give us a commitment of minimum 25 lakh rupees. Right? And what is the basis of this figure? This is being mandated by SEBI, given that all the angel investors who are joining an angel fund has to give minimum of 25 lakhs in over a period of 5 years. Right? So as I said, a fund life is 20 years. Deployment till we will be accepting commitments till 15 years, but still anyone who is committing today, let's say, has to complete a commitment within 5 years time, right? So in the same page, you will find basic details. So there is a deck also, text talks about everything what we do. In the same slide, you will find a PPM attached, contribution agreement attached, the certificate of registrations, and also for your reading, what are the SEBI AIF regulation, you will find that. The recording of this call will also be annexed over here. So this is going to be there for a longer period of time so that whoever is joining us late can go through this call and get his queries answered before he moves to this next section, which is the commit section, right? So on the same page, you will find how you can commit, why you should commit. I will definitely come back to this, but yeah, this is a simple form you have to fill up. Yeah, you can just scroll down till the FAQ.
Sure.
So a few basic things someone has to enter. And then there is a section we have created on the FAQs, like whatever questions are coming to your mind before signing up, you can definitely go through this. We will keep updating this. So this becomes a central record for us in the future years, right? So let's talk a little about what SV is. I'm sure you guys have been with us for a longer period of time. Someone who has joined new, I can definitely take a few minutes in explaining what Soonicorn Ventures is all about till today, right? I can see already questions into the tab. We'll take it up, but let's first set the whole structure. So it started as a platform. Last year, we started in January 2022. It's been 20 months of operations. Initially, when we didn't have a license, like just before August also, we were operating as a platform where there were angel investors, there were all the late stage investors. We will try to bring all the startups to come and pitch on the platform. We had similar setups, all the pitch calls which happen on fortnight basis. Investors join them. and they can explore the deals which we bring, right? So it's a pre-qualified deals we try to bring. We try to build up a solid community of, today we have 2000 plus investors. I'm very proud to say that all these investors have showed faith on our processes, what we try to achieve, the speed we wanted to achieve, like every month, 4 deals, we try to close all of them. And this has, which have brought us to a portfolio count of 30 plus startups, right? But yeah, that's what we've been building, and this continues to operate. So similar structure continues to operate. There is no change. The only thing which changes is, earlier we were doing deals from direct capital or using other AIS. We will now be using Soonicorn Ventures internal AIS. So that has been the progress. As I said, today we have 2000 plus investors. We have done 25 plus pitch calls, 29 to be exact, and this coming Friday we will be doing 30th. Then we have invested in 30 startups, to be exact 33. And so we have presence in 24 countries. That means all the investors coming from these territories. We have been doing knowledge sessions. Now we will be increasing this because now it's an angel fund. I would want all the people to come and join us on those sessions where we'll be learning about what is angel investing, why you should invest into startups at this point of time. We have even launched this January the VP program. Anyone who wish to join us as a venture partner, please happy to go on our WhatsApp and just type VP. You will be able to join us as a VP, right? And that's how many startups who have pitched on the platform. That's every pitch call we have 2 startups coming and pitching. That's how the community has shaped up at point of up today, right? So we have VC funds, family offices, angel networks, angel investors, and accelerator incubators. Their ticket sizes, how they are investing. So we have tried to bring that map. So this is anywhere available there. You can just go and watch it. So that's where the news came in. This was August, where we got the license. So it's close to a month since we got the license. We were pretty busy in setting up internal processes. And that's why we wanted that we should do a call to explain what angel fund is, why you should invest through an angel fund rather than investing direct. This is a very prompt question being asked by investors. So we are going to address those today, right? So yeah, that's the news section. It was covered by all the media houses. So thanks a lot for all the attention, and we received a lot of appreciation and response from the community members itself. And I give the complete credit to the team because they have worked very, very hard and brought this license to us, which now regularizes everything and even makes life of an angel investor also easier going forward. So as I said earlier, this is the same information which we discussed, right? But now let's talk about the process, what it was earlier and what is now, as I said multiple times. So far, every deal which was coming on the platform, you would see that we will say that direct entry capital at 5 lakh rupees and direct entry capital at 10 lakh rupees. Sometime we have even got chance to get a lower cap entries of 2.5 lakh also in many deals. But what happens? So whenever a startup raises money from angel investors direct capital means you're getting direct entry into the cap table. And the cap table looks like this: that the founder, ESOP, VC fund, and then close to 20, 50 investors coming in the line items. And those are called as, like, those are angel investors typically, right? If you have invested already, you would know what is direct capital means. But what is the problem with that approach, right? It is great if you are getting an influential percentage into the company's capital. You want to act as a very active investor into the company's operations. You want to help him build it. So that's where people try to keep a higher percentage into the company's capital and try to influence that company. But what happens is incoming investors are not very comfortable of seeing that the management, the capital of the company is hoarded. Like it has 40, 50 investors lined up. So they would always say, we would like to clean your capital. That's been a problem we also faced, because many of the times we couldn't get entry of the investors into the company just because the ticket size kept was very high, right? In few cases, it was 25 lakh also. So it's, but investors love the company, they want to invest. So the next big, alternative is that you can go from an angel fund AIF. People have been doing other setups also. Few people have done LLPs, they would do other partnership firms, but that is not regulated. You should avoid if you're doing that thing. SEBI is going to definitely take steps against all of those structures, right? That is not completely legal. But yeah, the best then becomes you use an AIF. So we have been using few AIFs in the past to float those deals where we loved the company, we asked the company to pitch, and then we took our investors through that AIF. A few popular are there in the India, like you would name AngelList. We had used Invest, we had used Agility. Thanks a lot for that cooperation visit. But yeah, that's a very safer area, a swift way of investing, because when you club all those people into a single scheme, and then you invest singly into the cap table of a company, right? So that's where you call it a single entry to cap table, and a SPV is used. SPV is typically a single purpose vehicle or special purpose vehicle, whatever you call it. But that is a single entry to cap table. So what is going to happen now? We will pool all those investors into our fund, and then all of that money will go to startup through that single entry to cap table, right? So that's been typically written in a very raw format, that whenever Soonicorn Angels invest, the startup receives money. At the time of exit, we receive the money, we distribute it among the investors in the proportion of what they invested. So that's how this solves many problems. One, definitely the startup's capital doesn't get filled. Investors come into a community format. If you're investing 2 lakh rupees, if you're investing, let's say the smaller figures, whatever there are, when you join them and become a crore, then it becomes a larger amount, and the founder also listens to it. So this is the very primary thing which happens when you come from a community. If you are going directly into the cap table, and then founder, this can be a case-to-case basis, but many times we have seen that founder take it seriously only to those legal structures which come into the cap table. So, but yeah, moving forward, advantages, how this going to change? Because if you are, let's say, joining fund, the question would come to your mind is, what happened, how the selection happens. So how it was happening earlier, same it will happen in the future also. So you guys will be shown the deal. Similarly, you will receive the WhatsApp alerts, the email alerts, the calls from our team. Then you can select which company you want to invest. You can invest as low as 2 lakh rupees in those deals. So the discretion of selection of startup is into your hand. 2 lakh rupees is, we have reduced. So we have done deals in 2.5 lakh also. This is 2. In future, I want to even bring it down to 1 lakh, wherever we have more investors and the startup has a limited pie, so we can definitely reduce the ticket size. And we have to consolidate 25 lakh rupees has to be invested by fund into a startup to qualify it as a valid capital entry. That's a SEBI's guideline. So 25 lakh has to be minimum pooled money. Comprehensive insights, because whenever you are investing from this, you will be receiving all the quarterly annual reporting of portfolios from our side. We have been anyway doing this for all our direct capital entries also, but in more structured manner. I can see many questions coming up, so we'll try to quickly run through this presentation now, right? And minimal paperwork, like our onboarding process is that fast, from starting from your filling up the form which I just showed you on the page. Once you fill that, you receive a contribution agreement, you sign it, you become part of the fund. Post that, whenever you have to invest, you don't have to go through the complete KYC process or signing large documents. You just have to send us the consent that I want to allocate 2 lakh rupees into the startup, which you recently showed me, and I'm interested. That's it. So there is no other paperwork involved. Simple drawdown goes to you. So every time you invest, drawdown notice is sent to you, and then you invest. You send the money to the fund, and that is done. So it's very, very simple, and we are even trying to reduce all the steps involved into investing. So it's like you can just, on the comfort of your phone, you will be able to do everything using this, right? So documents required, there is a detailed list also, but very simple documents are required when you onboard into an angel fund, be it your PAN card, Aadhaar card, cancel check, nominee. If you're a body corporate, you have to provide your PAN of the entity, proof of address, cancel check. There are few documents also required. Like there is one specific requirement for a body corporate. Today morning also I was discussing with an investor. You have to have a net worth of 10 crores into that corporate if you're investing through corporate. For resident individual, it has to be a 2 crore rupees of net worth. That's a very important element that you have to self-declare. 2 crores of net worth, excluding your primary residence, right? And there are a few more line items. This is in the FAQ. You can definitely find out there. For the foreign investors, similar. The passport comes in under TIN. So deal flow process, if you have been part of the community, you would know how we operate. We launch a deal, we bring founder to the call, similar call setups. We will launch polls, you show interest, we do our diligences, we do a due diligence call in which you ask questions directly to founder, and we show our deal report also. You give a commitment, we will even make it very simple that on a deal summary link, you will just type commit and we will know that what amount you wish to commit, and that's it. That's even on the WhatsApp and also on the web version, right? Then we float out the rest of the documentation, and now that is done. So few minutes on the tech stack. You guys are already receiving WhatsApp alerts from our side. That's where we have built up a very simple, a no app installation kind of an approach till now. We are anyway now working on an app also for the deal summaries, but this has been worked very well for us. Since our first pitch call, we are sending all these alerts, and that has worked very well for us. So now there is a new domain which we are using, which is svdeal.com. Not so new, but there is a new fresh UI which has been developed. This is more inclusive. You can go and check all the deals at once. Earlier, you have to enter OTPs every time you enter. But yeah, every deal, every information of a company, be it a pitch deck, all recordings, 3D docs, we have tried to include everything into this one. So that's the team which have been behind this. Me, Pravesh, Neha, Divya, Shubham are leading from the front. We have tried to keep this ecosystem as swift as possible. And then there is a backend team which pulls all the heartstrings. These are the people who are in touch with you mostly. But yeah, these are our deal runners who come and run a deal in the first place. That's been the portfolio so far, right? So far we have invested into 33, as I said. All these companies have been into different sectors. We have going to be sector agnostic in future also. And we will try to bring all those new age deals, all those sorted deals where investment goes without plucking your hair. So this is going to be a similar format. Some great names are already here. Zip, Zengbas, we have Samosa Party was very famous. We are very big in drones sector, 5 companies in portfolio, right? Energy tech, we have invested into 4. Then D2C have been very rewarding for all our investors, right? So, but these few follow-ons have been done. We are collecting all the information that will be published very soon. Few secondaries have been done. So that's, but there is no complete exit. If you call us, like, what is the exit scenario currently? We are pretty new in that sense, 20 months in investment cycles. And I guess 20 companies invested this year itself. We have conducted few community events where all of you have attended. Thanks a lot for that. But yeah, this year we are busy with the fund, but these are the last year's events. This year going to GITEX, and there will be one more event by end of the year. So we'll love to come to all these cities again. These are the active investors who have joined. Now this list has grown up also. Thanks a lot for showing all that trust and efforts you guys have put in. But yeah, all these angels have now even signed up. Most of them has already signed up to the fund itself. That's where the call today is also kept, that whatever questions you guys have, you must ask. Ecosystem partners, those people who have helped us so far in getting the deals or sharing deals with them, and then the founder get benefited. So these are investors, some community players. You must know most of the logos over here. So I guess that's it on the presentation side. Let's take up questions.
Next question is, will all the deals be done through AIF?
Pretty valid question, and being asked by many investors. See, going forward, definitely you would see the proportion of deals coming from AIF would be larger. Like we would focus deals to go through this because of multiple reasons, be it beneficial for investors or not. But there will be some deals where we can have a direct capital. There the ticket sizes will be high. So if there are angel investors can invest 2 lakh, I would suggest them to go with a lower ticket size and build a larger portfolio. But there will be options. So you stay with us. You would see the direct capital entries also. But I would say on the face of it, you will see mostly the fund related deals.
Next question is there any major legal compliance difference between an angel fund and a VC fund, both Cat1 AIF?
Good question. So we are anyway preparing a complete report on it. What is the basic difference? But on a hindsight, I can just quickly tell you, both these are into a similar category. It's a Cat1 as per SEBI. The rules are anyway on the link. You can just go and read that. That's specifically for the angel funds also. The few differences I can tell you: if you join a VC fund, you have to give a commitment of minimum 1 crore. If you join an angel fund, you have to give a commitment of 25 lakhs, both being completed into 5 years' time. That's a standard thing. So the ticket size is 25 lakh and 1 crore. Second, in a VC fund, you said the legal compliances and in the angel fund remains similar to same. Like we have to also do the valuations every year and submit our reports. We have to do all the other related affairs, SEBI reportings. So all that is pretty much same. The basic difference here is the decision making is to hand of the investors, where angels invest and take their own decisions. And in the VC fund, the decision making is with the fund managers. But apart from it, legal compliances, all those things we have to do similar. Even we have mentioned all our trustees, all our legal compliance people in the FAQs itself, and even in our PPM is mentioned.
Yeah. Coming to next question, it is, what if there is a disagreement on exit? Someone wants to remain invested versus other wants to exit.
Right. So Manish, this question would love to see many exits happening from this fund, and that's why we are going with the fund, right? But yeah, in the schemes, the majority of investors, if they decide they have to exit, definitely the scheme would exit from that. It's the responsibility of S3 to bring all those exit opportunities to the table. But yeah, if particularly, let's say there is a complete exit opportunity and few investors are not liking to take an exit, they would have to take it because that's not an option. Even I have got into a half an hour discussion with an investor putting this into favor that if he would have been an angel investor, he could have stopped it. And in the angel fund, he has to go with the majority. This is not a case because whenever a full exit opportunity comes in, it is mostly where the new incoming investor wants to clean up the capital. So if they come and say that you guys have to leave, so angel investor would also have to take an exit, right? So it's a very similar case in both the cases. It's here because you have to take an exit, and it's a community play where, let's say, 10 people are there in a scheme, or 15 or 20. So there has to be a majority which takes.
Next question is, so as an investor, I need to invest 5 lakhs in a year plus 2 lakhs per startup.
So both are different things. I don't know why plus is there. 25 lakh for 5 years. So you can break your investment period into 5 lakh per year kind of thing. You will be able to deploy your whole commitment. 2 lakh per startup is, out of this 25 lakhs, you can decide you want to build a portfolio of 10 companies or 12 companies. Like you can write 2 lakh rupees of check. That's what many investors have started doing now. They have given a blank mandate that, I will build up a 10 companies portfolio. Consider 2.5 lakh as a ticket size from me into multiple startups which are going to be on the platform. So you have to break your investments and build a portfolio of yours.
How active Soonicorn would be in tracking the portfolio companies?
Active in portfolio tracking, why not monthly MIS? So Gaurav, we have been tracking all our portfolios since inception of January, and all those consistent monthly reports are being sent to investors. So like whoever has been with us for a longer period of time must have seen those things coming out from our side. We'll continue to do that, right? All the prior investments, for these investments also, you will definitely have all those monthly and quarterly reports. Wherever monthly is not possible, where the startup doesn't have too much to show in a monthly report, so we try to keep it quarterly. But none other company is going to a half yearly or a yearly. The annual from even after the fund today, even we have decided that we will all the statements of accounts also about the fund will be delivered to you in quarterly, and sooner we'll be turning it to monthly when the size goes into larger time and we have dematted all our units. So yeah, we are tracking, and even in the future we'll be tracking it.
Next question is, what if the investor comes across the same startup through Soonicorn Ventures and some other source at same time independently and wants to invest?
Yeah, so it's completely up to you, Mandan. If someone wants to invest into that startup from Soonicorn, define the terms and the rights what we have got, because that's pretty crucial. Whenever you're investing, try to find out what network, which network is getting the best rights, right? So you can choose whatever you wish to. But yeah, definitely whichever mode you're trying. If you're going direct, you can take it. If you're coming through us, you have to fulfill that commitment. If you're taking a different route, you have to become a LP of that group and then go.
Next one is, how would you make sure good governance stays intact in the portfolio companies and incidents like with Go Mechanic, Trail, etc. won't happen?
Right. So Gaurav, that's a very, very valid question, right? The bad experiences what happens in the industry will continue to happen. It's our diligence and our way of handling things which comes into picture, right? So what we have been trying to do is we try to take up those companies which are like, this is our completely screening process. The kind of companies who have come and pitching on the platform, we have done a very deep diligence, even talking to their existing investors. You will see on the deep dive calls also, right? But any fiasco which comes, like something happened, like what happened to Go Mechanic, we should not take names of those startups into an open forum. But yeah, whatever happened is on the public forum, so we can discuss. But we can't guarantee that won't happen. But we can definitely ensure that that shouldn't happen. And if that happens, what are the corrective measures taken by us? So we will definitely be there, because all these will be our portfolio companies. We will be continuously tracking. If any red alerts come out into any, there is a dip or a spike into few of the elements of a company, we can definitely get into call with the founder and try to understand. Right? So that's a investor plus a fund play, that how we manage all our companies and try to get them future rounds. I will even come to this. Major companies fail because they aren't able to raise funds, and even in this year we have seen a slowdown because of the all the bad events out about it, funding winter. What we are trying to do is, whatever companies are pitching and becoming portfolio, we are engaging them to the VC fund, because in the start of the presentation you must have seen we have a very solid network of all these VC funds, another angel networks and platforms. So we try to push these deals into these platforms so that they keep on raising funds until they are sustainable.
Ankit has asked, you mentioned LLP or private limited is not registered. AIF, SPV, can you elaborate?
Okay. So Ankit, the point is, when I said in the initial time, people invest, they have to invest, let's say, they go to a founder, he says, come to a single entry to cap table. I'm not giving you direct entry because you're investing, let's say, 5 lakh rupees into my startup, each investor. So people try to pool in money and they invest from an LLP or a private limited company, right? I guess that's your question was. So that's a model which is not right, because if you are using LLPs and private limited only to invest into startups, and let's say tomorrow again you find an opportunity, if friends put in money, capital and investing, that's not a valid approach. Even we have seen notices coming to some of the networks also who have done that in past. So that's an avoidable structure. EIF is a much defined. SEBI has approved it. They brought these regulations 2013 even, and came into like limelight from last few years, like 2019, I would say. People have started getting all those approvals. So that's only a valid approach now to invest into startups when you pool in money.
Next question is, how can rupees 2 lakh investment be part of the fund if minimum ticket size of investment from fund is 25 lakh rupees?
So right. It can be, so you have to 25 lakhs investment, right? It's not a restriction that you can't over invest about 25 lakhs. You can anyway go upside. So if you start investing 2 lakhs each into startups, let's say you built up a portfolio of 13 startups at 26 lakhs, even you can go above that. So that's a minimum capital requirement. Few networks have kept it 5 lakh rupees per deal. Few have even kept it lower than this, but we have tried to keep it 2 lakh at this point of time. As I said, we will try to increase it also, decrease it also.
Right. And cumulative ticket size is 25 lakh rupees, which can be spread across multiple startup investments.
And every investor will have a separate portfolio of investments.
Right. Coming to next question. If I, as an individual, want to enroll, I should have a net worth of -CR.
Yeah, 2 crores. So that's a SEBI's guideline. You have to self-declare that you have net worth of 2 crores, excluding your primary residence, right? That's the requirement.
And second follow-on question is, what is the average returns and time frame for returns?
Okay, so time frame, definitely it's a longer period of time. It's not a short-term play. Even I can tell you a legal guideline that AIF, whenever entering into a startup, has a lock-in period of 1 year. So we can't exit from a startup before a year of time, right? And considering the startup industry is an unlisted market, it's not that liquid in terms. You should definitely keep an eye that your exits will start falling in after 2.5 or 3 years minimum, right? So your returns are also solid if you follow an approach where that's why my point was, we will try to keep all those sessions future that you can come and understand those techniques, which company you should choose out of the companies you're pitching and all. So how you build up your portfolio, that depends what kind of returns you get. But on an average, Indian startup has fetched enormous returns in few cases and then few flop shows. But you put up a portfolio, easily you can get a 25% to 30% IRR if you are able to match up your portfolio in a good manner.
Right. Next question is, recently SEBI issued circular stating AIF should to issue units in demat form. How will this impact?
Right. So this regulation is getting implemented after March, I guess. So we are anyway into the procedure. When you go on to our onboarding form, we are asking the demat IDs also if the person has that handy. So we have to do it definitely. All the democratize has to be happening in the future.
Currently, I guess it is for fund size having 500 crore rupees plus.
Correct.
Now coming to next question. What will happen if commitment is of 25 lakh rupees for the fund and someone ends up offering less than 25 lakhs in 5 years?
Okay. So Jyoti, very valid question. And this is kind of if the investor is not able to complete the whole minimum commitment, right? So what we have told our investors that the SEBI doesn't say any penalty, any straight away penalty out there into if you don't complete it, right? But there has to be a reason why this was not done. And this comes to us that were we not able to show you the opportunities which you could have helped you? And because 5 years is a longer period of time, so they have categorized that investors should have 2 crores of capital, 25 lakh of commitment. That's why they have filtered out that the people who are able to invest are there, right? That's there. And even if you're not able to do that, then it's investment managers per se, how we take it. In a PPM, you won't find any strong penalties on that part. It's only for the defaulting contribution if you commit to a startup and then you don't do it. But yeah, typically this regulation is there. There are a few changes being suggested by a few other funds also. We have contributed. But yeah, the regulation is still there that you have to invest 25 lakhs.
Yeah. Next question is, if commitment from all investors doesn't exceed 25 lakh rupees, how will investment in that startup work? I understand that AIF must invest 25 lakh rupees in a start.
Correct. So we have to definitely get 25 lakh. Before that, the fund cannot enter into a startup. So what we are trying to do is, if that doesn't happen, if let's say 25 lakh doesn't achieve, it's 20 lakh, it's 21 lakh, we will try to work, maybe a week get extended to get those commitments. But if that doesn't happen, we have to return the money which has been pooled. So we'll try to take money only when the commitments are there. But if it is done, so we'll try to return the money to the subscribers and it doesn't go into the startup. So that's a quick mandatory thing done by the SEBI.
Next question is of Gaurav. How detailed is the due diligence by Soonicorn Ventures? Do you verify the revenue against invoices and bank balances? And similarly, verifying expenses, are these checked against the invoices to make sure no frauds are happening?
Perfect. So Gaurav, I can tell you, so far, whatever deals we have done, we haven't led those deals. Like there was some other lead on which due diligence we have dependent upon, right? And there have been multiple reasons why we haven't led the deal, just because there can be reasons that we like the companies who are raising $1 million, and then our ticket size is averaged around 50 lakh a crore. But still, on every deal, even we have invested 50 lakh rupees, you will find a due diligence report, which is a business diligence report out there. In future, whenever we are leading a round, I can tell you the company which backs Soonicorn is Nucleus Advisors, and that's where we have developed a service line even for VC funds. We do a very detailed due diligence. We have done more than 200 due diligence of startups. So we will do all those diligences whenever we are leading the rounds. Whenever we are not leading the rounds, definitely a business DD will be there. DD reports done by other networks will try to get that and shared with the investors. But yeah, definitely complete in-house team is there to do all those diligences. We don't go very deep in terms of matching those revenues invoices because that's completely a financial diligences done by the lead investors. If we are leading it, I can guarantee you all the DDs will be done in-house from Soonicorn.
Okay, so next question is, how startup is boarded with Soonicorn Ventures? Is it must to be a revenue-based startup or pre-revenue startups also work?
Okay, so as I said earlier, also there was a question by someone. I can tell you a very small thesis which we follow. The companies who are raising fund, let's say $500,000 or $1 million, they must have raised earlier, and they should have a commitment in the current round also. That's where I said We don't lead, so we'd try to find company who has already have a lead investor into a round. If it's $1 million round, we would see if 40% or 50% been committed by a network or a VC fund, right? So that's these are the criteria. Sector agnostic. We don't like pre-revenue companies. We have done a few deals where the solid product was there and the revenues were just tied up with a few invoices. But yeah, we typically love the companies who are having a solid revenue line. Even we have faced an issue where the company's revenue was past 100 crores when AIF cannot invest. So we have even found that company that was Zingbus to invest. So we tried solid companies which are in late stage, not very early stage. That's a division we want to create in future, but that's an incubator accelerator kind of a part. R is pretty much based into between.
After startup pitch, who finalizes the deal? Need to know the process.
Okay, so process is simple. In the pitch calls, you would see that company has been coming from a detailed analysis we have done in the backend, right? So let's say there is a startup which is you are seeing in a pitch call. It is not that the company is pitching to the platform for the first time. There has been a selection process done before this call. So I guess that was your question. Who is selecting these companies? That's an internal team which is doing that. I am there. Pravesh is there. Then we have few industry experts we have finalized. Wherever there is a company, let's say someone said EdTech, right? If some EdTech company is there, we are trying to finalize because we have a wide variety of angels also. We try to get in consultation with them, get a friendly call from my side, or we'll try to ask founder to pitch to that investor. And then we realize that, okay, this company has more than potential. Let's bring them to pitch. So whenever company is pitching on the call, a lot of work has been done. You will see a lot of material being created from our team internally and then showcased. Then even if the investors are interested, it's completely discretion of investors. So selection of startup definitely done internally by team. There are sources from which we source deals. I can spend a minute on this. We have direct source where investors who want a startup goes on a platform and a website and then approach directly. We have venture partners who send those deals. So even when they come from venture partners, we try to understand why venture partners endorsing that deal. So if he has some solid contributions, we try to consider that. We have a solid network with all the angel networks in India. So we get deals from there. And there we try to get an essence that what was the moat, why these angel networks or funds have already invested in these companies. So this filters out all those 100, 200 startups to a 4 to 5 startups in a month, which gives us more confidence that, okay, this is completely reviewed by many people and then showed to the platform. So just to summarize, whatever deal you see on the platform, do, because this is the earlier problem we faced. People thought that we are just bringing our founders to pitch. A lot of calls being done before that, and that's why a polished startup comes and pitches on the platform.
Next question is, are you planning fund as a service also? I read it in the news.
Yes. So we are providing fund as a service. Even if you are you are a syndicate, you are a small network, you just want to use our platform as a service, you can definitely talk to us. We are in talks with 7 such people who are using fund as a requiring fund as a service. We are setting a process. So definitely there is a possibility we will do.
Right. Next question is, can we invest through our fund trust in your venture?
Okay. So if you have, let's say, if it's a registered SEBI body, definitely you can invest through our fund. It's fund of funds for VC funds. If it's a body corporate, how you have structured that, we have to go from the legal entity standpoint, and then we will be able to let you know that if that comes straight away to the cap table, or we will assist you to directly talk to the founder, because we are working with other trust and funds also to have a same deal what we are having with the startup.
Right. Next question is, what is the minimum return guarantee investing in startups comparing with the share markets? As we know, the return is in share, considering this is up to a mark.
Okay, so Jyoti, this is a very debatable question because I am a pro startup guy. I would say all the good things about the startup side. I would say in a manner that share market is kind of a saturated market where people have known it for decades. Like this is 30, 40 years, maybe we were not born and people were investing in shares, those share certificates. So it has a very stable format just because of that longevity happened into that sector. That's where the returns are, but people even lose money into that market if they try to outsmart the market and predict the market. Right? Versus the startup culture in India, I could say it's 5 years older, 7 to 8 years at max, where we heard about that. Okay? So it's still immature, but the returns where people have got into private equity market are far, far better than what they have got into the share markets compared. Those who have logically invested, because again, this will become a phenomena after 10 years. Maybe you and me will be discussing uh, how these are matched. You can match indexes. Maybe in future we will see indexes of startups even exchange properly done. We have news that maybe SEBI will be setting up that kind of a structure. So there you will be able to generate more data out of startup industry also and take the decisions on. But to fairly, I can tell you, we won't suggest people to take their mutual funds money into startup. It is definitely an area where liquidity is a matter, where you have to play with the founders team, the startups. So it's more of, I can have a hour session. We can invite more people coming to and discuss on this specific point. But in nutshell, startup investments are for those people who have done their allocations into different parts. Now they have 10% or 15% of their money left, and they want to play a higher bet to get higher returns. I can guarantee you returns in startup industry is higher if you follow a proper specific approach in that.
Next question is, what are your terms of engagement with venture partner? I guess venture partner terms.
Yeah. So, Bandhan, the VP terms are very straightforward and simple. You can just go and on the WhatsApp, just type VP. There's an MOU being shared by the from our side. We share percentage of fees with the venture partners, and we promote venture partners in two divisions. Either they want to build up a syndicate kind of a model, they want to build up investors and build up a community over there, or they want to refer startups. Both the sides are open for them. It's completely over there in the MOU.
Next question is, in one of the recently concluded pitch calls, your rating on all risk parameter was near 2 on 5. This being the case, what would be the driving decision of the AIF to proceed with investment in such startup?
Great. So, Bhavendra, the risk matrix, I can tell you how it functions, right? The lower, the better. So, we have a scale of up to 5, and companies who have crossed 3 is kind of a red alert for us, because that's where you're higher than medium, right? Medium is 3, and then 4 is high, and then very high is 5. So but that's an indication. That's where we try to bring all those 7, 8 parameters. Earlier, we used to have 12 parameters. Now we combine few parameters into 7th point. And our decision making is mostly predominantly towards showing that how risky it is if all these parameters put into the weightage, right? But now again, the decision making is up to you. You get an alert that okay, this company is rated more than 3. You can get on a call with the founder or let's say the deal runner and have your questions answered. Why this rating was we try to elaborate everything over there. Coming to funds decision, all these companies who are showed on the platform, the decisions ultimately lies up to you. You want to take a higher risk, you see a higher reward into that company, completely up to you. But if you want to play safe, you want to see a rating lower in most of the cases, and you want to take decision, that's a parameter we have given it to you. But that doesn't affect us to bring the deal to the platform.
Next question is, can you show some dashboard of a portfolio, how an angel investor can see?
Okay, that's a pretty good question. Let us try to pull up. So before I'm just pulling it up for, let's say, Trezi, every investor will receive alerts, and we try to bring deals and put them into a platform approach. Right? So the link is svdeal.com. You can go and you will find other deals also mentioned over here. I can just show you the homepage also. And you receive alerts on WhatsApp, you receive emails, that's how this was our 29 startup pitch call. This is today's event. You will find Trezi, Regret. Even you will find all the startups mentioned over here. These are into, when you click on this, you will land up to their deal summary. I will just show you one. So let's say you wish to look into Trezi. So this is, you will find about the startup, in which sector they are, where the location is, who are the founders. Let it load up. Let me just refresh. So meanwhile, the images are loading. You will find the key highlights, the revenue, the ARR of the company, who are the current investors, what are the deal details about the company itself, what are the round size, everything is mentioned over here. And this is the slider I'm telling you. You can just select the amount you wish to invest, and you can just hit commit. We would know that you have committed to the company. We allocate deal runners to the company, and then the pitch deck is over here, the cap table, financials, financial model, every deep information you will find in the company. Even the call recordings of those calls you will find over here. A business DD report, as I was saying, how the risk metrics and all. So this is a complete 48-page report which is built in-house. These are the questions which have been asked by investor. We try to put them into here, and some social validation of the company. So this is how a deal is discovered by an investor. You receive a WhatsApp alert, an email, then a calendar is being set if you're showing interest, and then on the call you come and we talk about the company in the call itself. But yeah, anyone has any question, I can tell you the coordinates. Neha is leading from the front in terms of the onboarding of LPs. Shubham is there. I am even there. Pravesh is there. So anyone who is connected to anyone, then even deal runners, you can ask them specifically about anything. And if you're interested, you can just go on to the link. You will find more questions and the form is there. You can just fill it up and join us. So we're targeting more people to join up later, and we'll keep on doing these sessions so you guys know what is going on.
Let me repeat. Bandhan has defined my general solicitation question is left. I have commented the clarification in the question. Just a
1 second. Okay, got it. Yeah, so Bandhan, I got your question. This is about solicitation of deals. So we as a platform are only showing our deals to the registered members. This is not public, disclosure of deals. So we are not asking a public to join as an angel investor, right? Our community, whenever you come, you're being basic question asked, and all the deals are being sent to all the registered WhatsApp members, or let's say registered people on the platform itself. So we are not doing general solicitation. I understand your point. There is a disclaimer everywhere where we show the deals. Right. And what are the next questions?
Prateek, thank you for very detailed information in the presentation.
Thanks a lot, Prateek. Any more questions, please?
Ankit, my question of dashboard is, suppose I invest 25 lakh rupees in 10 companies, and what kind of dashboard I can see?
Got it. So Ankit, we are working on the new UI, as I said. The old UI where you will have a Google dashboard, you will have all the details over there. Currently, I can't show you, this is not my system, but we are working on a dashboard approach where whatever investors are now investing from the fund side, we'll have a dashboard. We'll even integrate the old data into it.